To have a productive day. Welcome to another episode of You Only Live Once Life and Business Innovation Style Meditations and Talks, where I'm Ying Han, bringing you yummy meditations, yummy talks, so that you can live your yummy life, whether it's at work, at home, or wherever you are. So I'm author of 2 books, 活出自我 in Chinese, and in English, You Only Live Once Life and Business Innovation Style, as I mentioned earlier. And today we're going to talk about how you can have a productive day. So there are so many resources out there on how you can optimize your day, be in peak performance, etc., etc., etc. And there's a ton of different journals and productivity hacks and life hacks on how you can really make a day productive. But it really is all broken down to a couple of simple frameworks that once you know, you'll be able to execute. Well, once you know, and when you actually put it into execution, you'll be able to practice so that you can integrate this as your daily practice. So the first thing and the biggest challenge about having a productive day, or even thinking about a productive day, is actually defining what that means to you. What is a productive day to you? And that is number one, that you need to really define for yourself. Oftentimes, a productive day to people unconsciously means doing things nonstop and not taking a break, or not having a downtime, or having everything on their to-do list done. But is that actually realistic? Think about this. If you have a million things on your to-do list, pages and pages and pages of what you can do, is that really knocking it all out? Is that really productive and realistic? So step one is really defining what is productive. And the easiest way to do that is to do step 2. So step 1 is defining, okay, what are the 3 things, or what is actually productivity to you, and how do you feel when you are being productive? So once you know those 2 things, you want to define what are the 3. Number 2, step 2 is defining the 3 most important things that you want today to be done in order for you to move forward in all of your projects, or in all of the things that are important to you for the week. So for example, if you are an entrepreneur, maybe the productive thing for you in the entire quarter is to hit a certain target, maybe in terms of sales or revenue, or maybe it is forwarding a project to a certain milestone if you're more of a tech entrepreneur. And so the overarching goal will dictate what your 3 important things today is. If it's a sales goal, then it's about forwarding that, and what's the most important step in order to forward that? Is it to call the person up in a certain part of your funnel to move them to the next step of that nurturing sequence? Or is it, if you are doing a project and then a milestone, what activity is necessary for you to move that to the next milestone? And if you're a student, it's what is that exam? Like, what chapter do you need to really nail, or what concept and what part of this learning experience do you really need to nail in order for you to feel like you've gotten really that 80% done, that is going to give you the 20% of results. So we're using the 80-20 rule here when we're doing the pick 3 things in your day that you absolutely need to be done to move the things that you need to move forward the most. Okay? And so that's number 2. So step 1 is define what productivity means to you. Number 2 is pick specifically, practically, what are the 3 things that are important to you that needs to be done. So write on your paper, 1, 2, 3. And if you can't think of it, and you're going to forget about this the moment you finish watching this video, just pick one thing that you absolutely die, as Singaporeans say, that you have to get done. I'm kind of Singaporean, but anyway, So what that is that the thing that oftentimes you want to procrastinate the most, the thing that you're trying to perfect the most before you put it out, maybe it's publishing a new thing that you need to do, all of those things that make you feel like you want to put it off to the next day, sometimes the answer is there. So if you are picking easy peasy things that you would definitely be easily get done, like I would say, what are the things that are most challenging for you to get done, and see if that's one of them be one that will move a lot of this momentum forward. All right, so number 3 after you've identified exactly what it is you need to get done, exactly which projects are going to move you forward, and your quarterly goals or weekly goals or yearly goals, align them together, which we talk about in a different video. But anyway, more specifically, then now what can you do? So knowing is one thing, but actually getting it into action and executing is a whole different thing, right? And so most people fail at just writing down their to-do list, and they don't execute properly. And that's why so many people fall off the wagon on things that are important at work, or rather important in their life, but then they come up with some excuse that, oh, work is too important, therefore this thing that I need to do with my life or I need to do for my career is not moving forward because my day-to-day busyness is still happening, right? So if you apply productivity principles to your life goals, for example, my career growth goals, my ambition to become X in this career, this industry, or I want to write a book, right? It's never going to write itself if you don't put it as part of your important tasks, right? If that's your yearly goal and one of your 3 goals per day is write a page, you will be done in a year if you write 360 pages, right? It's super simple, but it's the execution that actually where people fall off. So once you've identified like what is your goal and you want the rest of your body to follow through and execute it, then you need to really get everything on board, because just your mind alone only takes up about the 10% of conscious mind. You've seen that iceberg image, right? Where the 10% is on top and there's like 90% of unconscious mind at the bottom. So that 90%, that big elephant in the room, is constantly holding you back and not wanting you to move forward. And there may be a ton of limiting belief systems and ideas that are just not useful for you to move forward. So then how do we convince and to understand like all the stuff that's not useful, instead of dragging them all with you, that 90%, why don't we allow that to move with you? And the easiest way to do that is through meditation. There are so many resources and modalities that you can use to do it, and you can definitely talk to a coach, a therapist, psychiatrist, and all of those work in different degrees, depending on who you are, what your mindset is, and what is the specific problem and challenge that you're having in order for you to have everything on board. Meditation is the easiest way in terms of, your being able to access it right now, right here, accessibility-wise, feasibility-wise, time-wise, since you're time constrained. Most people use time as an excuse. And then also it's free, right? Like it can be free, or if you want to hire someone, then that will cost something. So you may access it and you are able to access it free. And the biggest thing with meditation that you want to be looking for, the one that it's going to support your productivity the most, are pieces and types of meditation processes, activities that deal with removing blocks, removing negativity, removing resistances for procrastination or unfocus or clarity. Like sometimes if you need more clarity in order for this project to move forward, then you want to look for meditations that are regarding clarity. If you need to figure out what type of meditation to select, put in the comments below if this is not enough for you to understand what's the best one for you. If you have too many things on your mind, you're too busy or too overwhelmed, pick a meditation that reduces overwhelm. Pick guided visualizations that allow you to let go of, interfering thoughts. If you find yourself just being anxious all the time, pick a meditation that reduces anxiety. We, of course, also recommend using different formats of healing processes to continue to inject the image and the visualization of productivity in your mind, how you will feel when you're productive 100%. Then that's step 4. So first step is identifying what and knowing what your productivity means. Second step is identifying 3 items that make you productive today. Third step is picking a meditation that is specific to you so that you can remove any resistances and move forward, so that your rest of your body is also on board and creating this productive day for you. And then the 4th step is to do it. Is to do it, to breathe, and to continue and sustain this practice so that you can actually not just have one productive day, but have a productive life, have a productive sleep, have a productive relationship, have a place where you can feel alive, you can contribute at your highest, you can apply these learnings to so many other parts of your life and really, really be able to feel aligned in your visions, your actions, and your thoughts. So this is my spiel about how you can have a productive day, and I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you did. We are having so many more subscribers these days, which is great. I'm so excited for this, and I'm really excited that you're here watching. It's only going to be better, and I can't wait to hear how these work for you. Talk to you soon. I'll see you in the comments. Mwah!